I was born July 17th, 1984 to Carmen and Anthony Rojas. At the time, I was their fourth child. I was born into poverty and street life. My parents were drug dealers, and the majority of my family were living the street life, in gangs, selling drugs, and in and out of jail a lot. Before I was 3, our home got raided by the police, and me and my brothers and sisters were placed into foster care. 2 weeks later, me and my sisters got adopted by my auntie and grandmother. As I was starting to get older, my parents were strung out on drugs, and my father was diagnosed with diabetes. Not really seeing my dad a lot growing up, I never really had a father figure in my life. I looked up to my uncles, brothers, and cousins, even though I knew they were up to no good. My brothers were in a gang and my uncles were in jail and strung out on drugs. Inside of me, even though I knew what they were doing was wrong, I looked up to them, but my consciousness wouldn't let me pick up on the things they did because I knew I didn't want to be like them. Since my brothers were in a gang, I always got looked at like I was a part of the gang, but in all reality, I ain't never been jumped in, and I'll never get jumped in, because me personally, I feel like my life is a whole lot to lose. Yeah, I might have been chilling in the neighborhood, messing around, getting into trouble, having fun, doing things any 10-year-old would do. Except really, I felt like I was raising myself. When I got to middle school, I was being hated on a lot by a lot of my close friends that were getting mad at me because I wasn't cutting school and I wasn't in the neighborhood getting caught up for doing stupid shit. Honestly, I still kick it with them because they was my boys, you feel me? I'd go to baseball practice from 3 to 5:30 every Monday through Friday. After practice, I go straight to the block and chill with the homies. I'll be out there from like 6 to like 11, maybe even 12 at night. Smoking weed, robbing people, beating people up, just being dumb. Even though I was playing sports, the street ain't never left me, no matter what I was doing. I've always had a street mentality, but if it was one thing I learned from the streets, it was to never do something someone else tells you to do unless the problem has to do with you. Because if you did what they say, you was going to get caught up on some shit that ain't never had nothing to do with you. This was the influence for youth looking for love and wanted attention and wasn't getting it at home. The Mission was a very bad influence on the youth in the 80s and the 90s. I didn't let it influence me. I just soaked up as much game and street knowledge as I could. As I went into high school, I still had that influence of the neighborhood, but I didn't let it affect me as a person. Freshman year, I might have slacked a little bit, but I still got my grades to play sports. To me, sports was my main reason, not being in a gang or in the streets all day opposed to a couple hours. I feel like the street knowledge helped me because it did me a lot of goods knowing how to handle certain situations. I know if I was in a gang that I'd probably be in jail or probably even be dead. As for my friends, most of them are incarcerated and in the neighborhood trying to get street fame or selling drugs. During the summer after my sophomore year, I was put into one of my scariest situations ever. Put yourself in my shoes, sitting in a 4-step doorway rolling a blunt, and all of a sudden a car pulls up and a passenger jumps out with a pistol walking towards you asking where are you from. Now what? You gonna fold under pressure? Me, I was stupid and said Michonne 14 block. After I said that, I was stunned and shocked by what was happening. It was like my life flashed right before my eyes. He went to pull the trigger and the gun jams. I didn't hear the gun pop, so I socked him and ran for my life. I was scared as fuck. I can say that was one of the luckiest days of my life. And with this experience, I looked at it as a turning point in my life. I felt like I learned from my stupidity and used my previous experiences to help me move on. Since then, I've graduated high school, and I can say that I've never been arrested or put into a situation where I felt like my life was in jeopardy. This was a turning point for me to succeed and hopefully a learning experience for you, so think before you act. If not, you might not be as lucky as me.
Looking for your ass strapped, drunk off thistle. San Francisco, city of broken dreams, where youngsters be up in the Mission with scopes and beams, coke and trees.